And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. A look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I'm executive editor of the ChannelPro Network. I'm also a co-host of this program. I am joined this week, as I am every week, by your other co-host, Eric Simpson, a business transformation and improvement advisor to MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, how goes it?
It goes well, Rich. Hey, happy February. It's February already. Can you believe it?
You know what? Yeah, I've been talking to people all week who are like, wait a minute, how did that happen exactly? Wasn't it New Year's yesterday? Yeah, it is. It is interesting.
Yeah.
Years flying by, and you know what? Let's fly into this week's top story here, which I think is an interesting one, and it'll be interesting to people who didn't catch this in the news or online earlier in the week. It concerns LogMeIn, which is not LogMeIn anymore. LogMeIn has essentially completely relaunched the business. They are positioning this as a complete relaunch. They have changed the name of the company from LogMeIn to GoTo. And they have begun a process of basically consolidating and streamlining their product line. So now let's go back in time a little bit. In 2016, LogMeIn buys the GoTo product line from Citrix. Since then, they've been operating GoTo, and that's, GoTo My PC, GoTo Meeting, GoTo Cloud, or Connect, excuse me, the cloud phone service. They've been running the GoTo business, but it's been a little bit separate from LogMeIn, which most folks in our audience are familiar with as a remote access tool. So what LogMeIn has done now is really begun to standardize and consolidate all those tools as more of an integrated product suite. So they're taking what used to be the LogMeIn remote access tool. They have launched a brand new product that really replaces the LogMeIn tool called GoTo Resolve. It does remote access. It does a lot more than that as well. It's really like an RMM tool. It's got ticketing functionality and more. And they are integrating that with GoTo Connect, which includes GoTo Meeting, and really kind of presenting this to MSPs now as a suite of products that you can bring to your customers. And they actually view this particular combination of functions as differentiating for them. There are obviously other RMM vendors out there. There are other unified communications vendors. But right now they say they're the one company that kind of does all of this, the whole kind of remote work package in one solution. In conjunction with that, though, they have retired the LogMeIn name. The name of the company now is GoTo. And they are branding everything around GoTo. And very significantly for the folks who are watching right now, they have also launched a partner program. It's called the GoTo Partner Network. It's not as if LogMeIn didn't have partners before, but they were mostly in the telco world. And quite honestly, I think a lot of people watching or listening right now didn't really think of LogMeIn as a channel-friendly company. And that is something that they are looking to change right now. In 2019, they reached an agreement with a couple of different private equity firms. That deal officially closed in 2020. And those companies, part of their strategy for what they wanted to do with LogMeIn was to develop a channel strategy and a channel-focused go-to-market. And so they've got a partner program now. They a whole set of tiers and benefits like any partner program. About 6 months or so from now, there's going to be an MSP track added to that partner program with pricing and all the other kind of benefits that you would expect for an MSP audience. So, Eric, this is a company with technology that has been widely used and widely respected among channel pros, but the company itself, like I said, hasn't typically or historically in recent years been regarded as channel friendly. They are looking very much to change that right now as they develop this suite-based approach to the current IT needs out there. So very interesting development, I think.
Yeah. Welcome to the channel. I think they figured it out, that they've got to move to where the MSPs are, right? You talked about I think their roots or their provenance in kind of the telco space, that reseller agent-based space, which is, as we know and talk about all the time, very, very different from, a managed IT solution provider, managed service provider, business model and space and relationship with their clients and things like that. It's nice to see that they are adapting their business model, and they're building a channel program that is more customized to the MSP channel. Rich, I'm curious, was there recent hires or other consultation that they've had in order to move this big ship in this direction? Because this doesn't typically happen organically with kind of an organization that is based the way they were. I mean, was there some influence, some expertise that was brought in to help them create this channel program, this new focus on MSPs that you're aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an important part of the story. In fact, is last September, they hired a global channel chief, which is not something that they had before. His name is Patrick McHugh.
Hmm.
And I got a chance to speak with him. And yeah, so I mean, he is very much in charge and was hired to
Hmm.
create this channel-based go-to-market motion. That's what he's working on right now. And already, they've got a reseller partner program out the door. They're like I said, about 6 months or so away from having the MSP piece of that developed as well. He was quite upfront, with me when I spoke with him about saying that this company has not really had an IT provider channel before. We had the telco resellers, and even there, it was a little bit reactive. They would come to us and say, we want to partner with you. And we would say, okay. This is really the first time in many years, if maybe forever with this company, that they are going out and looking to recruit partners and through a partner program to be good partners. And they will, I think they will have to combat some perceptions from the past, maybe even some skepticism. But it certainly sounds like they're very serious about getting serious about the channel.
Yeah, well, I guess they're in the race now. I think they weren't really considered as, one of those options for partners that have, obviously the usual suspects in terms of unified communications and telecommunications and virtual meetings and things like that. And, it's nice to see that they're actually adding on to what it sounds like their core architecture is to allow some of these more MSP friendly type of services. You mentioned kind of a ticketing system, maybe an RMM function, things like that. I'll be interested to see how that rolls out.
It'll definitely be something to watch going forward. They've got a lot of competition, but a lot of assets working for them. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this. And Eric, they have their eyes on the opportunity that the remote workforce and the hybrid workforce has created out there right now. That's why they're thinking about remote support and these unified communications tools as an integrated suite that MSPs will need. And that actually ties into your tip of the week.
Sure does, Rich. And the tip of the week is time to revise your website and your marketing materials and your sales approach to focus on those things that today's buyers are investing in. Rich, I'm, keeping up with a lot of trends and statistics and surveys and reports. Really, specifically, my interest is around how buyers' psyches and perceptions have evolved since the pandemic, since COVID-19. And it's interesting, there's reporting from McKinsey and Carlyle Group and even Microsoft surveying business owners on their experience in maintaining business continuity and potentially even growing through the pandemic. Now I'm talking about customers of MSPs now, and what these surveys have unearthed is, one interesting statistic is from a pool of executives that said before the pandemic they viewed technology as with a cost cutting focus, right? So that and 48% responded that way. Post pandemic, the same question, they said now they see technology from a cost cutting perspective only 10%, and instead 38% as a strategic value to their organization. So they're willing to they've invested in and accelerated their adoption of three real core services and technologies, what you would expect to survive the pandemic. We're talking about cloud migrations, Rich, cybersecurity, and remote workforce support and optimization. And that is and 58% of those folks surveyed in a McKinsey survey said that those transitions and those adoptions and that perspective are going to stick moving forward, meaning they're going to continue to invest in these services. So, what we need to do as solution providers, channel pros, MSPs, is make certain that we're reflecting our ability to deliver those services and support those needs on our websites and in our marketing materials and in our sales approach, leading with security and remote workforce optimization. I did a webinar earlier this morning and I polled the attendees, Rich, and I asked, how many of you have clients that are going to continue to support the remote workforce model that they've had to adopt since the pandemic? 88% said that they had clients that had told them just that. So this is what they're investing in. So we need to shift and adjust and look at our websites with a fresh pair of eyes and our marketing material and our sales approach to really lead with those services. And icing on the cherry on top of the cake, or cherry on top of the ice cream. This approach also lends itself well to selling more co-managed IT services up into the mid and enterprise. As we've talked about before on the program, Rich, these internal IT departments really aren't equipped to support this remote workforce. Their job is to manage risk inside the building, inside the infrastructure. The users have these, this hardware, these applications, and they are locked down. All of a sudden, when they've got to manage these folks working from home with who knows what, they're not equipped to do that, not from a process perspective, not from a platform perspective, certainly not from a security perspective. So lots and lots of opportunity for channel pros to take advantage of right now.
Yeah, a lot of folks in our audience watching or listening right now are probably as busy as they've ever been, maybe busier than they've ever been before. And as a result, they may not actually have taken a fresh look at their website or at their marketing materials. And that is a problem. I mean, it is great to be cross-selling, upselling services to the customers you support now, but presumably you want to grow the business as well. And if particularly the website, if the face that you present to a potential customer out there doesn't reflect what they want and need today, as opposed to 2-3 years ago, that's going to be a handicap for you. So it is a good tip. It is always difficult to make time for marketing. I think for a lot of people, especially right now, they are spending a lot of time supporting their existing clients, but it's a really good idea to just kind of step back a little bit and make sure that potential customers understand that you are capable of meeting the new needs that have developed in the last couple of years.
Well said, Rich. Well said.
All right. Well, that leaves us with time for just one more story here this week. And Eric, this comes to us from Washington, D.C., and it may provide an answer to the age-old question, why did the chicken cross the road? And it turns out that the chicken may have crossed the road to steal national security secrets because a wandering chicken was caught sneaking around a secure area at the Pentagon, the Department of Defense headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. The Animal Welfare League was called out to rescue this chicken and get it out of there. Now, as far as I know, the chicken didn't actually get inside the Pentagon, but we don't actually know where the chicken was found because it was so secure that the Animal Welfare League isn't allowed to say where they went to actually get this chicken. But they did get the chicken. I mean, good news for the chicken, right? Didn't wind up on somebody's grill or get put in chicken jail or something like that by the Pentagon. A staff member at the Animal Welfare League took the chicken home, adopted it. She is being taken well care of now, but had quite a little adventure there at the Pentagon.
I'm concerned about our national security. What a practical yoker this chicken was, right, Rich?
Oh boy. Very good. I can't improve upon that. So instead, I am just going to thank you and everybody in our audience for joining us this week for this episode of the 5-Minute Roundup. We will be back again next week with another episode, folks. we are both a podcast and a video. If you're watching the video right now, but you're into podcasts, you can go wherever you get your podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google, we're all those places. Please become a subscriber. Please rate and review so that other folks can find the show just like you. If you're listening to the podcast right now, but you'd like to check out the video, we are on YouTube. The easiest way to find us there is to go to the Channel Pro Network channel. Become a subscriber to that too. And in fact, if you take an extra second or two to click that little bell icon, you'll even get notified when the new episodes go up. You can read all about the many, many things that the company now known as GoTo is up to right now, plus all sorts of other great stuff happening in the industry at channelpronetwork.com. We have got great new content for you going up there every day. To learn more about Eric and the work that he does with his clients, please visit ericksimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. So as I say, we will be back again next week with another episode of the show for you. Until then, folks, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.